Alright guys, we're going to jump right in. This is going to be a hard part haircut. I realized in all my videos I've done, I have yet to do a hard part. So we're going to jump right in and section this off. This is something that's very important, guys, and this is an existing hard part. We want to make sure that we don't cut any of that long hair. So we're going to come in with our trimmer and we're going to set up our hard part line. We're going to do the top line here. We're going to hold all that long hair out of the way as we work our way through with the trimmer, and then we will shave the bottom line. So we want to make it nice and neat on both sides. I'm going to hold the length out of the way, cut that line. Now we'll come in with some shave gel and our razor and we'll clean up the bottom edge. This is the Tomb45 triple cartridge razor that I normally use. The blade is fully exposed. I like to use the fully exposed. I can see what I'm doing. I can get in there for detail work and can really see where that blade's at. So if you're gonna shave a whole face or a whole head, I would recommend the less exposed blade, but you guys can use whatever you're comfortable with. So you can see we got that hard part in, and now when we come in, this is a 2-guard closed. We wanna hold that length out of the way again and make sure that this guard doesn't grab any of that hair from the top of the head. So we're just gonna start to cut the whole side down to a 2, make sure we get all that hair next to the hard part, and then we'll come in and start our fade. You guys can see he has a little alopecia spot right there. I've been cutting his hair for about 6 years and that just popped up out of nowhere and it hasn't gone away. So I'm not sure really if that will develop and grow back in or what that's gonna look like, but we just cut around it. We used to do the hard part and it went through that so it would look like skin, but he's used to it now, so we just leave it. So I'm gonna go in with my bald guideline, my Slimline Pros, and then you guys can see I'm gonna use my Gamma Absolute Hitters to bald out the rest of the hair. And the reason that I'm doing that is he has really tough, coarse hair. Running the shaver over his head is gonna be really difficult. So I wanna use a trimmer that's gonna get it as short as possible, and that's gonna make my shaver do the least amount of work that it has to do. If I just go in with the closed clipper or the Slimline and then try to use the shaver over top of that, it's gonna really have a hard time. It's gonna really take me a while. So I like to cut it down as short as I can with a really sharp trimmer so that I can come in with the shaver and get it down to skin. Now we'll come in with our Wall Senior with the Andis Master Blade with the Filthy mod. We're gonna do our open section about 3/4 of an inch to an inch up. And you guys know I talk about how tight to pack your fade. In this one, we're going up to a closed 2 all the way up, so we have plenty of room. So we're gonna do about an inch guideline. So we did our guideline. Now I'm gonna come in with the slim lines and bump that line out. Of course, we punched our line in with the slim lines, so now I'm gonna flip it upside down and scoop that out, and then we'll work with our clipper and start to take the rest of this fade up. I'm gonna come in with it closed at the bottom of the section. I'm gonna bump it up a little bit more, and then we'll take it halfway open and work up from there. Now that you can see it's established, I'm gonna go through and work my lever. You can see I put it all the way open. I went back to the top to make sure all of that was open. And now I'm gonna work my lever and make sure there's no spots left. So I'll maybe put it in the middle, go after a spot. If that doesn't get it, I'll close it up a little bit more like you can see right there until this section is nice and clean. After that, we're gonna come in with a 1-guard all the way open, and this is on my regular cordless Senior. So we'll take a 1-guard all the way open. You can see that almost blends into the 2. We're gonna need our 1.5 just a little bit up at the top. But we did our open section. Now we're gonna come in with it closed and go halfway up into that section. And you can see that's working it out pretty nice. All that we'll leave is our 1/2 guard to clean up anything between those 2 sections. And like I said, I'm gonna go ahead with this. I'm gonna take my 1.5 and I'm gonna connect the 1 to the 2. So you guys can see there's no lines left. The 1 is connected to the 2 using this 1.5. And now anything left below that, we'll use our 1.5 to take out. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and work my way back down because I used the 1.5. Now I'm gonna go 1 open. Now I'll close it up and come back through. And then when we get to that last line that's left, the 1/2 guard will take it out. You guys can see that 1/2 guard is polishing out anything that's left, any dark lines between the open section and the one section. And now I can move down to an open clipper and make sure that all the dark spots are taken care of. Now we'll come in with our absolute hitters. We're going to edge up this corner. We're just going to give it the little corner right there by the hard part and his vertical bar. And you can see his hair is kind of light up in the front right there. So we're going to come in with some enhancement at the end. He's never had it. For a video, I wanted to do it and give him a little extra crispy cut for this. So you guys can see that here in a little bit. All right, we're gonna come in on this side, do the same steps. I already did the 2-guard up into the top. Started out with my ball guideline. You guys know I got a new camera and a new setup, so I'm working on getting comfortable with that. But I've been doing better. I actually got this whole haircut minus putting in the ball guideline. So go ahead and do the same steps on this side. So we're gonna come in with our open clipper, go ahead and set our first guideline, and then we'll start to work those steps out. We're always going to do trimmer at the bottom because that's our shortest. Clipper closed after that, clipper halfway open after that, and then that section will be blended. Now we'll come in with the one open, set our next step, then we'll close it up and go halfway up into that section, and the half guard will take the line out at the bottom of that section. You guys can see this side's coming together. We are going to edge up this corner as well. We're not really going to give him a full hairline all the way across. It's pretty full. He's a young kid with some nice full dark hair. But you guys can see we're going to go ahead and knock out the back here. Same steps as before. And real quick, I just want to remind you guys, I am teaching on the Tomb45 Online Academy. My first live stream will be Monday, this upcoming Monday, August 10th. And it will be at 9 o'clock Eastern time. If you guys want to hop on there, definitely go check it out. It's going to be very slow, not sped up at all, live tutorials. So I'll be able to go live, I'll be able to pause it, answer your questions live. You can chat in the chat box and ask whatever you want to ask. I can pause it, I can draw on the screen. It's going to be very in-depth. So far, guys, every week, all the other educators have been on as well. So you will get to sit live with Chris Bosio, Get Beamed, S-Craft Blends, Dre Cut It Out, and myself, and we'll go over these haircuts together. It's very up close and personal. I think you guys will dig it, but I will leave a link in the description below if you guys want to check it out. And I appreciate all you guys that signed up, and I'm really looking forward to my first class. All right, we're gonna go in and cut the top here. It's quite grown out right now. He likes it just long enough to stick up in the front. So we're just gonna go in and take about 3/4 of an inch off. And you guys can see I'll take my traveling guide from front to back. We're gonna cut the same length off all the way back. So when I grab, I'm gonna pull my fingers up the same amount and cut the same length off. And then when we go to our next section, you'll be able to see where we already cut, and we'll just connect that to the next section until we're finished with the top. So you guys can see now when I pull this up, the very end of my fingers, you can see where we've already cut, and you can see the length on the far right, and we will just make that match all the way around the top, and then we can style it up and you guys can check out the end result. And I've had a lot of questions lately. Guys, I'm still using my fresh shears. I love them. I think at first, just because I knew what I paid for my Hanzos, it was kind of in my head that they couldn't be as good as the Hanzos. But I'll tell you guys, I've had no problems with them. They're still cutting nice. You guys can see them just slicing through this hair. And he has nice, full, thick head of hair. So I'm still happy with them. If you guys are interested, go check out that video. My discount code is still active. And I will put that link in the description below as well for those of you that need to get some shears. I've had a few questions lately, so just wanted to touch on that. But now we're going to cross check. We're We're gonna go ahead and make a vertical section, and you guys can see the highs and lows from the sections that we took out. So we're just looking for anything high, and we're just gonna make it all even before we move on. Now to connect all this together, we're gonna come in with some clipper over comb. You guys can see I'm setting the spine of the comb against the head. That's where that 2 guard was at, and a comb on the head is equivalent to a 2 guard, so you'll set that against the head and then cut the rest of the hair above that with your clipper. And we're gonna go in and do a little bit of color enhancement. This is the Tomb45 No Drip Black Brown. This is my enhancement card. For those of you who don't know, you can grab one at Seancutshair.com. The compressor I'm using is the Beam Team XL and Tomb45 No Drip. You can get both of those at Tomb45.com, so go check them out. So go in and do a little bit of light color enhancement, add some product, you guys can check it out. He never seen nothing like this. All right, guys, there's the before, super grown out, touching his ears on the side, the cowlick going crazy. And there's the finished product. I hope you guys like this video. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. If you're new, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications. And I'll catch you guys next time.